This, my friends, is the Bael Fruit. And Bael Fruit is something that I've had before. It tastes delicious. However, I haven't had it under the best circumstances. The first time I found this was in Borneo. I found a tree of this and collected some of the fruit. The fruit looked good, it was ripe, it was good to go. However, as I was eating the fruit, I was being eaten by mosquitoes. Not just any mosquitoes, but mosquitoes that were specifically the type that carry dengue fever. And, God, mosquitoes, ah! Alright, I might drop dead, like, right here. Just saying, I might get, like, eaten to death. They're gonna, like, drain me of my blood with a Bael fruit in my hand. On another occasion, I found myself in India, and I found some Bael fruit juice vendors. Okay, I'm in Guwahati, which is a northeastern city in India, and I just got me some Bael juice. Unfortunately, I have to spit it out because I can't drink water here. It will make me sick, but I can remark on the flavor. And this tastes really tasty. I really wish that I could actually drink this. My delicate American digestive system can't handle the water in India. It makes me sick. So as I took a sip of it, I had to spit it out. So I wasn't able to enjoy it, but the flavor I got was incredible. And this one I found right here in New York. I actually found it at a Bengali market. The unfortunate thing with this one is that it's a little bit green. It's a little bit green, so it might not be the most ideal situation. However, people do eat these green. They eat them like this, sometimes even more unripe, and they eat it as a medicinal thing. I think this is a pretty good find either way. So I'm gonna give this a try, and I'm gonna try to make juice out of it. That way I can try the juice that got away all those years ago in India. So let's do it. Bael fruit, for those that don't know, is actually very hard on the outside. It's got the nickname skull fruit, head fruit, and wood apple. Although not this wood apple. That wood apple I've had really bad experiences with. It also has that name though. I also have this one here. We've got two of them. So if this one doesn't work out, we got another one. How you open a Bael fruit is a little bit tricky because it's so hard. So you can't get into this with a knife. You have to either crack it against something hard. In the past I cracked it against a rock. Or you hit it with like a hammer or something. You gotta be careful. If you try to like cut this with a regular knife, you're gonna ding up your blade. Some people out there actually use the Bael fruit shell to make stuff out of, and I think I'm gonna try that. So I'm actually gonna very cautiously open one of these with a Dremel. Even unopened, these things, they smell amazing. Really, really good. It's got this really sweet floral smell and a bit of like a mango smell. My vision for this is that it's gonna be like a little box. So let me first find where it's gonna sit. About here. Good enough. This looks amazing and it smells amazing. It's kind of like stringy in there. You can see these little fibers. And also there are seeds in here. And the seeds are kind of interesting because they are surrounded with like a slime. So the pulp itself is pretty dry, but here's a seed. You can see that little slime trail coming off of that. And the seeds, from what I've seen, are actually edible. But a lot of times people take them out because they have a little bit of a bitter flavor to them. You can see how thick that rind is. It's pretty tough, pretty thick. Not a bad thing to make something out of, so I think that might actually go pretty well. And there's a little bit of pulp on the outside here. That is good stuff too, so you can eat that. It's maybe a bit tricky to eat because of those seeds. I'm going to try to dodge them and just get a little bit of pulp on the outside. The flavor of this is, well, first of all, it's amazing. Really, really good. This one is maybe not so super sweet as the one that I had in the past, but the flavor is pretty close to what I remember. I described it last time as tasting like mango bubblegum, and yeah, it does remind me of mango bubblegum. But there's also like this like very aromatic floral thing going on. So when you eat it, you're not just getting like this nice mango taste on your tongue, you're also getting it up here. It's like kind of like reaching you in your nasal passages a little bit. And I'm noticing something new with this one that I didn't notice it in the past. This tastes like peaches. And not just like peaches, but like those little gummy like peach candies that have like sugar on them, those things, only not super sweet. And it's bitter a little bit, but it is bitter in the way that a peach can be bitter. So that's the pulp. Let me try one of these seeds here. Try some of this slime, which you can eat it. Like people do eat it, but you could also people also very often remove it. Yeah, the flavor of that is glue. It's not strong. It's not sweet. There's like a mild vegetable kind of flavor to it, like turnip. It's not really much of anything, but that slime is unpleasant. It's like putting liquid glue in your mouth. So I can see why people avoid that, and that's what I'm going to do when I make the juice. So let's get in the kitchen. You know, the pulp in here is not super sweet, maybe a 3 out of 10, but I tasted some from the inside of the shell, and that's actually quite sweet. Let's say a 6 out of 10. So next, I'm gonna get some water, put that in here. I'm thinking this process is a bit like making tamarind water, where you just kind of like mash up the pulp a bit with your fingers. But as I'm doing that, I'm also gonna remove some of these seeds. Separated. There's still a few seeds in there, but it doesn't really matter so much. But what I'm doing next will get rid of a few of the extra ones in there. I'm gonna pass it through this sieve. No, I'm not gonna make ketchup out of this one. And by the way, this is a very important fruit for several cultures. It has a special significance in Hinduism. The Bael fruit has a relationship with Vishnu. In Nepal, there is a group of people that they actually have a ceremony where young women will marry Vishnu, and Vishnu is represented in their ceremony by a Bael fruit. There is some confusion where people think that women are marrying fruit, but no, they are marrying a god. Because they are married to a god, that means if their real-world husband, like their human husband, dies, they are still not considered a widow. Fascinating stuff. Okay, so we got quite a bit there, but there's still more juice to be had. So I'm going to water this down and pass it through again. Oh, and by the way, I saw online that some people use this for a laxative, and other people warn that it can cause constipation. So I don't know what's going to happen to me after I drink this, but should be fun. Okay, so sometimes people will add sugar to this in order to make it more sweet, and sometimes they'll add tamarind to this in order to make it more sour. Yeah, it's going to need some help, so let's get some tamarind. I mentioned tamarind water earlier, and that's what we're gonna make now. So you get to see the process. I'm gonna take a clump of tamarind, add some warm water. I'm just gonna break this up with my fingers, just squeezing the pulp so I can get some of that flavor out of it and into the water. Pass it through the sieve. And I'm going to add about a tablespoon of sugar. It's good. It's not great. My Bael Fruit is not the best Bael Fruit. But even using one that is still kind of green and not perfect, it's pretty damn good. It really needed the tamarind and the sugar to bring that flavor out more, which maybe you wouldn't need if you had a better quality Bael Fruit, but it's still really, really good. I really like Bael Fruit, I really like Bael juice, and although I've had a difficult time because of blood-sucking, dengue-covered mosquitoes, water that would destroy my digestive system, and fruit that is not of the prime quality, even with all of that, I'm still having a good time. I think Bael is something to definitely check out. Hopefully yours will be a little bit better than the ones that I've been finding, but it's still really, really good. Another thing that's on the market is Bael tea. You can get dried slices of Bael and make a tea out of it. It does not taste like this. So you can actually get those on Amazon. It's fine for what it is. I reviewed that once a long time ago also. This is a totally different experience, and it is a really good one to have. So if you can find Bael Fruit, fresh Bael Fruit, or the juice, definitely give it a try. I know that I'm going to keep trying to find this as well. And there you go. I made a Bael box. And I'm clearly not any master craftsman, but I am a guy with a drill and some tiny hinges, and that can get you pretty far in life. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna put in this thing, but I made it. For now, I've got another tiny hinge. Let's put that in there. Gotta keep those somewhere. And yeah, it's not maybe the best thing for making stuff out of, because I dropped it while I was making it. Not because of like me cutting into it and drilling it, by the way. Gotta give me some credit. It just slipped right out of my hands because of my klutz. And I got a nice crack in it right there. So this is not a very sturdy box, but it is a very unique box. And sometimes that's more important. So I think that's about it, everybody. The Bael is a really interesting fruit. It's a really interesting drink. It's a really interesting box, even if it does have a crack in it. And maybe in the future I will find an even better Bael and do something else with it. So I think that's about it. Thank you very much, and I will see you all next time. I would like to give a big shout out to Smarter Every Day, Loftyrex, and JMac. They are mega patrons over on Patreon.com. Patreon, I'm sure you've heard about it, but basically it is how I can afford to go on all the adventures that I go on this channel and how I buy all the fruit that I buy. So if you are interested in supporting the channel, check out the link in the description below. Another way to help out is by going to my website. My website has all my videos organized into categories, which is pretty cool, and I also have t-shirts for sale over there. So check it out, and I will see you all next time.